Hello everyone, my name is Lika and I'm a member of our small but marvelous team consisting of 3 students, Team Andre and me. And we decided to talk you through a brief tour of the Standart library in Python. We decided to tell you about exactly this theme because despite that there are lots of interesting topics in Python tutorial, but Standart libraries, from our point of view, is the most useful and informative one. So let's start, and I'm gonna start from the first topic: operating system interface. Like all of us here are programmers, or on our path to become programmers, we all should know what operating system is. So I'm gonna give you this definition of this. It's a set of programs that manage computer hardware resources and provide common services for application software. Well, actually, I hope that it's common for everyone. And now let's talk about especially the OS module, what it allows us to do. The operating system module allows us to interact with the underlying operating system in several different ways. So, for example, we can navigate the file system, give out information, move files around, and all kinds of stuff like that. Very, very useful stuff. So, now let's go to the PyCharm and import OS. As is a library, we always should import libraries. So yes, this is the first step for all libraries. So import OS, and one interesting thing that I found about built-in modules is when you're working with a new module, if you print out this built-in dir function, you pass in the module that you're working with will show us all of the attributes and methods that you have accessed. So we should do this thing, print dir function. Maybe it's common for lots of you, but I've heard it for the first time in my life. That's why I wanted to share it with you. And then we just write OS here. So yes, it's all methods that we can do with the OS library. As you see, here it's like plenty of it, so it's so hard to choose. And we will take a look at the ones that I consider to be one of the most useful. Not, of course, everyone, but if you want to know more about this, you can also read about this in the internet. But I'm gonna tell you about the most basic ones. So the first one, first I'm gonna print like this: cur dir equals os dot get CWD. So what it means, CWD stands for current working direction, and we can go ahead and print cur dir, so to see what's going to happen. And run this program. Now we get where we are at the moment. So for me, So for me, it's users Likilamidze PyCharm project untitled then. It means that we're within this folder on the untitled 2 called then. So now, what if we wanted to navigate to a new location or the file system? So let's say that we want to navigate to the untitled 2, okay? So if I go ahead and just copy this path, I'm going to copy this path, and we're going to print such thing as os dot ch dir, which means change directory. And don't forget about quotes, and just pass it here. So this is how we're gonna change our direction, our directory. Like, look at this. If we're gonna print it after this, this is gonna change the direction. So if I save that, and now I'm going to print out the the current working directory, we change the directory now. Okay, I think that's all that I want to say about operating model systems. Operating system interface, and now we have here a small file wildcards, but it's not really interesting. Just like the globe module provides a function for making file lists from directory wildcard research, but it's not nothing really important for us from my point of view, so let's just skip it, but you can read about it more on Python tutorial. I'm gonna tell you about command line arguments. Now I'm gonna talk about sys, or short for system. System is actually quite interesting, so you can use this to do any sort of like system input-output kind of stuff, and command line arguments. So let's start. First, we just need to import this as always. Yeah, import sys, and I'll do the same thing. I'll use this dir function to see what we can do with it. Okay. So not so much as it was in OS library, but still lots of things that I cannot tell you about everything. Just the most important thing. And from my point of view, the most important one is argv. Argv prints like that. Argv. And if we print that, we get the file path. So let's print it. Print sys.argv, sys.argv. Let's see. Okay, so this is the path that I'm editing right now. So that basically just gonna give you the file name. But what we can do with this is really staggering. You can pass arguments into this Python file using our command line, which means using any other language, or you can use the command line yourself, but it's not it's not so special. So the kind of the kind of urgent thing about is argv is that we can communicate Python with other languages like PHP and Python or whatever, bash scripts and so on. That is why it's very, very useful, but it's not, of course, it's more useful for advanced programmers, not just a beginner as I am. So I cannot show you how it works exactly because I don't have any other languages right now on my computer, but I hope that soon. I'm going to study all of them. But I think that's all that I wanted to say. If you want to know more about command line arguments, you can also read it in Python tutorial or just in the internet. And thank you very much for your listening, because this is the end of my part, and now I give the floor to Andrew. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, and today I'm going to tell you about two topics included in the standard library of Python. The first one is about dates and times. First of all, to deal with dates and times, we have to import the datetime model. Let's do it. Import datetime. This model contains many classes. I will tell you about the date class, time class, and datetime class. There are also other interesting classes, but I haven't got enough time to tell you about them. So let's try to create the date object. We have to denote some date that we are going to work with. For example, let it be the date of the deadline of this project. It's going to be on Sunday, 21st of October, I believe. So let's create it. The deadline. We write datetime model. Then we have to choose a class that we are going to get knowledge about our deadline. For example, date class. I do not have to, I know the date of our deadline, but I do not know the time. So only date, and we are to write it in the particular order. Starting with the year, then the month, and the day, 21st. By default, we are to write only in this format, but there are some format operation with dates. I won't tell about them, but you can Google, and you are able to change the order of writing. You're able to change from from numbers to words. For example, it will print October like OCTOBER, and a lot of another a lot of other interesting operations. So let's go ahead and print out the date of our deadline. I made a mistake. Sorry, that kind I have written. So, as you can see, there is a date of our deadline. So what interesting else we can do? For example, let's learn what is the date today and the time now. So we are to denote like today, datetime module, class date time, because we want to learn what the time now, and today. Let's print it out. Yes, as you can see, there is a current date, current time, and this is the number of milliseconds. So Python defines milliseconds too. So let's make some calculations, mathematical operations with Python. For example, let's find how much time do we have until the deadline. So for example, to finish this project. So till deadline, and the simplest math operation, minus today, minus today. No. And just print it out. As you can see, there is a mistake. But why? I will describe. Because while we was writing the deadline object, we defined it only, we used only date class, and writing today's object we used datetime class, and we aren't able to calculate dates and times that were made using different classes. So let's add time to this object and learn if it works. Yes, so we know that until the deadline we have 2 days, 6 hours, 16 minutes, 33 seconds, and this quantity of milliseconds. So I believe that's all I wanted to say about dates and times.
Hello everybody, my name is Tim, and in my short part I'm gonna talk about data compression and array model. What are we going to discuss about data compression? There are several libraries in Python on which you could use such data compression functions or methods. So I'm gonna describe and talk only about zlib. You can also face with gzip, bz2, etc. If you want to compress some structure like WinRAR archive or maybe 7-zip archive, yes, you can use this library. And in my part, we will consider only how to compress string. The string should be byte string. What does it mean? So the string shouldn't be Unicode, because we can't. I think we can't compress Unicode string. We can compress only byte string. But there is no difference. I think there is no really strong difference between these two strings for user. Okay, for example, we can input some string like this, and our literal, like a byte literal, will be b. Then I'm gonna to print this length of this string, len of s. Then I'm going to create compressed string. Compressed string called, for example, t. You should use function compressing function from zlib library. So you should import zlib, and then you'll make t equal to zlib compress zlib compress s, compress of s. Yes, then print length of given. Length or len of given string t. Yes, and compare this length. Oh yes, I've made grammatical mistake. Compress, not compress. You can see that size was 32 and became 14. Amazing result. And even more, if your string will be like this, you also have about doubled advantage of memory size. Okay, how we can present our string? Like t, what is the string as t? T is a binary byte string in such code. So you can't read this string like usual man, usual girl or usual child. Of course, you should use decompress function from zlib. For instance, zlib decompress of t, and then the result is our given string. Amazing way to save your memory. So our next topic is array. What is the array? Array is a standard library type which will facilitate which will provide you simple way to work with lists. How we can denote and use array? First of all, you should import array from array. Strange, but you from array import array. Then how we can create array? For instance, A is array of what? First attribute of array is literal. I will explain it few minutes later. And the second literal is list. For example, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes, our program is compiling, is running. So, what is the literal? Very simple. Literal means that we use only one type one type variables, one type elements in our list. For instance, h is unsigned short int element. So take it in your mind and continue. You can download this table and use this symbol what you want. Okay. What types, what methods we have to handle with arrays? First of all, you can append, add element to the end of array and use method called append. Append, for example, 2 and print R. Now you see that our array consists of also 2 elements in its list. Okay, also you can count sum of element in A. For instance, in this example it will be 8. Also you can get index, the first index of element X. You can insert element X before position I. You can remove item with index I. And also you can reverse your array. Such a huge structure to facilitate your to make programming easier for you. So I think you should use array and make programs easier. So that's all. Thank you for your attention. Next time I hope we will see each other, and I'll describe some new methods, new structures, or maybe new codes. Thank you. Goodbye.